How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the incident on the highway in Texas involving the Biden bus and some Trump supporters in their trucks. Now, the media and Joe Biden himself are characterizing the incident as Trump supporters trying to run the bus off the road, but that's not really what happened. Not at all. If anything, this was an escort, and they were probably more safe around Trump supporters than anything else. Before I go any further, I got to back up a little bit here to explain to you what's happening. Now, there's a big Biden bus. It's a tour bus. It does not have Joe Biden or Kamala Harris on it. I think it has some state reps from Texas and also some campaign staffers. They're on the bus. I think they were leaving an event, and as they're leaving, here comes a Trump truck parade, I guess you would call it. These are not trucks endorsed directly by the Trump campaign or sent out there by them or paid for by the campaign or the administration or anybody in federal government, state government. These are just local people that are acting on their own, okay? And they got the Trump flags, they got American flags, they got all kind of flags, right? You see these truck rallies all over the country. They're all independently operated, organized, the whole 9 yards. A lot of them are done through Facebook. And I think Facebook's trying to crack down, quote unquote, crack down, meaning censor a lot of these rallies pages because they don't want all of that to be out there. They don't want these people to get together on their own without, external provocation. They don't want them to get together because it's going to show a lot of unity on the right, not so much for the left, and it will hurt the left politically, but different story. So I digress. The whole point is that you're having these Trump truck rallies all over the nation. So they had one out there in Texas. There were about 100 trucks and other vehicles with Trump flags, American flags, that really, in my humble opinion, escorted the Biden bus out of Texas or out of the particular area they were in. Now, the media says the bus was surrounded by Trump trucks and they slowed it down. Maybe they did slow it down. I'm not really sure if they did or they didn't, but maybe they did. But the whole thing about they tried to run it off the road was ridiculous. If reports are correct and there were nearly 100 vehicles on the road, surely they could have run them off the road if that was their intention, but it was not their intention. Their intention was to flank it, follow it, escort it, and just show we're here, we're Trump supporters, you guys are Biden supporters. We're not going to hurt you or nothing like that because nobody got hurt. I got to put it out there right now in case you were wondering. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got injured or anything like that. Now, there was one particular incident that I think the media may focus on, and they'll try to just use that as evidence of Trump supporters' aggression. But I'm not really sure that is true. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty confident in saying I know that it's not true. I'll place the video on the screen before you as I'm talking. I'll just talk my way through it. A white SUV or van, I'm not really sure what kind of vehicle that was, but a white vehicle got right up on the bumper of the Biden bus. Now, they don't have any kind of flags or anything like that on them. So I would presume that this is not a Trump supporter. Maybe it's a Biden supporter. Maybe it's a Biden staffer. I'm not really sure who it is, but I would presume it's not a Trump supporter. So they were right up on the bumper. I'm talking about almost touching the Biden bus bumper. And they also veered into the lane where a Trump truck was. So the Trump truck is in his lane. It gets to right next to the white car that was in their lane and they nudge it. Okay, so they nudge it out of the way. Now, they didn't spin it out of control. They didn't crash it. They nudged it just enough to where it got into the next lane. Of course, there was some damage on the car. It's like, you could tell where the truck's wheel well and all that was right up on the van. But it wasn't like anybody in the vehicle got injured. As soon as it got nudged over, they just continue on in the other lane. And that's pretty much all I saw. They're trying to say that as they were trying to run the bus off of the road. That's not true. When the truck that was, in his lane nudged the vehicle that got into their lane and that was right up on the bumper of the Biden bus, once they did that, the truck gave a safe distance between itself and the Biden bus. They were further away than the white truck was. So if it's about the white truck being in the right, all this and that and the third, I can't tell. The truck was a nice distance away. The van, the white van that was not part of the Trump crowd was like, I'm talking about almost connecting, almost touching the Biden van, the Biden bus. So what's really going on? I think that the Trump supporters had the van in a very safe situation. If anybody was to come in there and try something crazy or try to hurt somebody, those Trump supporters would be out in full force. I don't care if they were trying to hurt a Biden supporter, a Trump supporter, or what. And they definitely were not going to touch that Biden bus. Not at all. Okay? This should be seen as an escort, not some type of aggressive move to force the bus off the road. Like I said, if you had nearly 100 trucks and other vehicles out there, they could have easily veered the bus off the road. It would have been no problem. Not in the least bit. But you know what? This is just more of the same from the media. A lot of hating, a lot of gaslighting, a lot of misinformation, a lot of lies. Nothing new. Because we know that the enthusiasm for Trump is through the roof. Not so much for Joe Biden. Where was your Joe Biden truck rally at? Why not? Why can't they have their own rally with flags and patriotic people and everybody proud? People aren't enthusiastic for Joe Biden. They see the man on the campaign trail. They know he looks terrible. So there's not going to be any kind of groundswell of organic support. There will be no independently organized truck rallies or just a regular rally on the ground or a boat rally for Biden. I think the closest thing you got to that was some kind of rally in Georgia where everybody had to come in their car. And I'm seeing Toyota Corollas and Kia Sophias. Remember the old? I'm seeing a bunch of those out there with no flags and nothing on it. It just kind of, bumper to bumper in a big parking lot or wherever they are just to hear Joe Biden and Barack Obama speak. If Obama was there, I'm not sure if he was there or not. But they were there just to hear him speak. They were not, it wasn't like an enthusiastic type thing. They were in their cars because they had to be just to go hear him speak. So I think that the election is going to be great. I can't wait till tomorrow. Today's Monday, November the 2nd, November the 3rd, which is election day, of course, tomorrow. I can't wait. I think there's already been nearly 100 million ballots casted as far as early voting, mail-in voting, or what. Not quite 100, but close to 100 million. I think at least 90. And there's going to be many more come election day. A lot of people are going to wait until the day. It's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with the early voting. I don't want to deal with the mail-in voting and having my ballot in one of these drop-off boxes get set on fire. I don't want nothing like that to happen. So I'm going to vote on election day in person. All right. And shout out to the 109-year-old lady over on Fox News who said that she votes every year in person. And I cannot give a shout out to Jedediah Bila talking about, but you don't have to, which basically meant to me, well, she shouldn't have voted in person. She's 109 years old. You got the virus out there. You shouldn't have voted in person. Please vote in person. It doesn't matter what somebody says on the television, on MS13DNC, or even Fox if they go down that road, which they normally don't. Vote in person. Don't let anybody try to intimidate you. And don't listen to the media. The media I think the mainstream media, nearly on all sides. Fox News is kind of okay still. They're like the last bastion of hope. But every other station, don't pay any mind. The polls, don't listen to them because it was the same thing going on last year. Okay, a lot of polls that said that Hillary was leading, that Trump had no chance, and we see what the result of that was. The incumbents almost never lose. The only way an incumbent loses is if they lose their base. And I don't think Trump has lost his base at all. The same states that voted for Trump in 2016 will do so again this year in 2020. You're seeing the truck rallies, the boat rallies, the on-foot rallies, Beverly Hills, California, New York City, everywhere. You're seeing it happen. This whole Trump truck rally kerfuffle in Texas was a way for the media to try and attack us, to try and paint us as some kind of violent and dangerous criminals, which we are not. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that the Trump truck rally in Texas was dangerous? Do you think that they were trying to run Biden bus off the road? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or do you think that the Trump truck rally in Texas was safe? They gave the Biden bus an escort and there was never any danger to the Biden bus. Like I said, nobody got hurt. Nobody got injured. People on the bus were kind of scared. They called the police. but nobody got hurt. Everything was fine. I have seen people on the far left, the Antifa BLM, tear stuff up, punch Trump supporters in the face, shoot Trump supporters at Trump rallies, all this and that. I don't see it the other way around. And shout out to Trump for making that point plain. When the FBI came out and said they're investigating the whole thing, they're trying to see what's going on with the Biden bus kerfuffle. Trump was like, look, it did nothing wrong. How about the FBI investigate Antifa and things that really matter rather than patriotic Trump supporters just leading the Biden bus in a peaceful and safe escort? Focus your energy where it's supposed to go, FBI and the mainstream media. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.